Hi, my name is Dave. I'm your host. You're listening to The Last Podcast, where the first shall be last and the last shall be first. If this is your first time listening, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. I really appreciate you listening, and I hope you continue to find tips, ideas, and value from listening to this podcast. Today, I want to talk about the puzzle. I want you to imagine for a moment that you put together this wonderful puzzle. You know, when I was younger, as a kid, me and my sister, we used to work on a puzzle sometimes, and we'll spread pieces on a table and start sorting, finding the edges first in the corners, everything that made sense, right? It's been decades since I've last done that. But recently, I began to think of life itself like one of those massive puzzles, right? The kind with 100,000 pieces, the kind that takes years to complete. Imagine that. Imagine with me for one moment you spend all your spare time, day after day, year after year, slowly assembling a puzzle of immense size and detail. And after much patience, frustration, and persistence, you finish it. It's magnificent. Imagine that. Maybe you even framed it and displayed it for others to admire. It definitely makes a great conversational piece, doesn't it? It becomes that conversational piece, that symbol of what you accomplished through strategy, grit, and grace, and dedication. But then, something unimaginable happens. Someone or something comes along and shuffles every single piece. You walk into the room and the entire thing is scattered again, like from the very beginning. The masterpiece of your life has been undone in a moment, and now you're being asked to reassemble it. That puzzle is your life. Whether it's a loss of a loved one, a career you poured your heart and soul into, a relationship, your health, or even part of your physical body, life sometimes shatters the picture you once saw clearly. The pieces are everywhere, and you're left standing in the aftermath, broken, confused, numb, questioning your very existence. You might even be asking, why did this happen? What am I supposed to do now? How can I go on without them, or without that dream, or without what I used to be? Is there even a reason to try again? Well, I could tell you there is. These aren't just normal questions. They're sacred ones, birthed from the deepest part of human suffering. And they deserve compassion, not quick answers. I don't know if you know my story. In April 2006, 2023 rather, I lost my wife. I went through all of this. I went through that life-altering moment where things just did not make sense. And even though I lost all the family I grew up with, I could not make sense of anything. I was left with the aftermath. When nothing makes sense, much like dumping the puzzle onto the table in the wake of loss, everything looks meaningless at first. The edges you once built in your life all seem lost, right? The image that used to guide you is no longer visible. The structure, the flow, the plan is terribly gone. You feel shattered. You're not alone in this feeling. You know, many people experience this aftermath after death, or a diagnosis, or divorce, trauma event, or, sudden change in life. The grief can hit like a tidal wave, leaving you emotionally paralyzed and mentally drained. The pain may feel so great it impacts your body, your sleep, your memory. And I don't know about you, but I went through all of this. And still, there is something in you, no matter how faint, that wants to start again, that still reaches one piece, that's still of hope, that shimmer of spark, that dimmed light within you. It's still there. I could tell you one thing. One of the best ways to keep moving forward is acknowledge the loss. You can't begin to rebuild until you fully recognize what's gone. This isn't about staying in your grief. It's about facing it honestly. Whether you're lost a person or a sense of identity or a future without plans now. It matters, right? Let yourself grieve it. Let yourself cry, scream, write, pray, or sit silently and ache in the moment, but don't stay there. Every puzzle builder knows you can't force pieces together that don't fit. The same goes for grief. Let it be messy because it is. And I'm gonna tell you this. You pretty much have to lay a new foundation. Before you build again, you need space. Mental space, emotional space, even physical space. Ask yourself, where can I breathe again? How can I talk to, or even if I want to move forward, what do I need to feel at this moment? How do I want to feel? What support do I need? And don't be shy about this. Whether it's therapy, rest, community, spiritual grounding, something. Much like a puzzle assembly, you need a foundation to work from, even a flexible one, a safe space to begin your new journey. And I would say next would be start small. Trying to fix everything at once is overwhelming. So start with just one piece, one small daily goal, one kind word to yourself, one honest conversation, one reason to get out of the bed. Take a shower, become unstuck. The edges, the pieces of your new life don't have to be big. They just have to be yours. And it has to be new. Rebuilding might include reestablishing a routine, taking care of your physical and mental health, asking for help even when it's hard, finding moments of stillness, or simply being with compassion. Accept that picture that it might look different, because in that wake of loss, who am I? How will I go on? So the picture is going to be different. Accept that, embrace that. That's the hardest part. Life will not look the same as it did before. You may never fully get back to the version of yourself or your life that once existed, but guess what? You might have a more improved life if you embrace, if you grow, if you learn from all of what you've experienced. But maybe, just maybe, you'll become someone deeper, someone wiser, someone more compassionate, more powerful, more awake, more alive. And over time, your new life will begin to take shape, to take form. Not because of the pain disappeared or anything of that nature, but because you refuse to let it define you. You refuse to let it stop you. You refuse to just stay in the wake of disaster. Now that you have to move on, you want to move on, you desire to move on, you give life a new meaning after the aftermath. Sometimes after a great loss, people discover great purpose. A woman who lost her husband begins to grieve, or she might start a support group for others who have gone through the same thing. A man who lost his leg becomes a world-renowned para-athlete. A mother who lost her child maybe she'll start a scholarship fund in their name for someone else. Someone who suffers depression becomes the voice of hope for others still in the dark. You don't have to immediately find the purpose, but now this purpose can rise from pain. This purpose that you have in your new life will rise, and your story is not finished. Your voice is not silenced. Your impact is not over. You have so much to do. You have so much to complete. Because why? Now you have a new life, a new lease, a new purpose. Hey, look, my final thought on this is put Putting your life back together after loss is like attempting that same 100,000 piece puzzle again. But this time, the picture may look a little different. It might have some missing pieces. It might even have new ones added in. And that's okay. The beauty isn't just about the finished image. It's about the courage it takes to keep picking up the pieces. So take your time. Sort what you can. Step back when you need to. Cry when it hurts. Start again when you're ready. And always remember, you're not broken. You're becoming. Just like the puzzle, your life can be whole, one piece, one precious piece, one day, one moment at a time. My name is Dave. You're listening to The Last Podcast. Do me a favor and subscribe. Do me a favor and like this podcast. I appreciate you listening. Have a wonderful day. So long.